So we're at this very interesting point in the series where I think it could really go towards a handful of civs, but there's still quite a bit of nations that could maybe win this campaign here. So I'm going to go over my top 5 favorites to win the game so far. At number 5, I've got Portugal, because Portugal hasn't done much. For some reason, you know, I know that they got off to a really, really fast start, but unfortunately they let all the other surrounding civs kind of come back. If Portugal wants to do anything, first of all, they need to attack Songhai if they want to continue to capture cities. That would be the most obvious choice, since Songhai is really divided, as well as their military is low, and it looks like Mali is going to be able to maybe cut them off from their capital. So that would be probably an easy win for Portugal. Everywhere else, though, I mean, it's a struggle. I mean, maybe if they got a big enough navy to attack the Ashanti, but, you know, you have to kind of worry about Spain. Yeah, I know Spain is not super ahead in technology, but that's a lot of units to fight through, and you have they have no singular city with a bunch of they've got to defend everything kind of equally. So that's the biggest issue that's facing Maria. Now, for 4th place, I've got Ethiopia. Ethiopia is looking really good. I mean, let's be honest, they're looking really, really good. I just think that I think they're the dominant power in Africa as of right now. They need to be careful. They do have their unique units up, which is obviously a big deal, but they need to, I don't know. They need to continue to attack. They need to probably save some time, build a military, and then, you know, start picking off some of the easier civs. Like Arabia right now would be, I think, easy for Ethiopia to take. The Ottomans obviously would be easy. So that's what I would suggest for the AI to do right now. In 3rd place, I've got the 3rd place is kind of a tough one. But in 3rd, I'm gonna say Russia. Russia, only because they can kind of do a lot, because there's a lot of smaller nations that I don't think could keep up with Russia. They border a lot of smaller nations like the Huns, like Afghanistan, like Persia. Like, they could really open up the Middle East, and they're the best civ within this region, among the big 4 powers, at least in Asia, to be able to do this. So that's why I'm going to put Catherine in 3rd. I'm putting Poland in 2nd. And honestly, it gets to be a kind of a tie somewhat here, but I'm putting Poland 2nd only because I think they have a good. I don't know. It's so hard. It is really, really hard, because I've left out civs. I've left out Rome too. But I'm gonna say Poland, because I think Poland can colonize. And then honestly, right now, 1st place, I'm saying Korea. And you notice that I didn't put Mongolia out there, and maybe that was a mistake, because Mongolia can colonize, and it looks like they might with 2 extra settlers. But I just don't know if I have enough faith. They border a lot of very aggressive civs like Korea, Russia, and Poland, and that's why I've left them out of my top 5. I think they might fall. Even if they don't fall, I think they'll lose a lot of cities through war at some point. So yeah, Korea's number 1 because they're so technologically advanced. Thanks to their unique ability, and they have an awesome navy. They can also take over a lot of these southeastern civs that really have no defense. So yeah, I did leave out Rome, which probably was a mistake. In hindsight, I think it was really hard. I had to put one of the European. I had to leave one of the Europeans out, according to my theories. I think Portugal has a bigger navy and they have more opportunity to colonize. Even though now Rome has a colony in Norway and Scotland, I still think that Portugal, if they wanted to, they could colonize more heavily, and they could probably have a chance of going to war with more easily. More easier, weaker civs, I guess. So that's why I picked Portugal over Rome, but Rome is very up there too. It's kind of a top 7 would be ideal. I would say there's 7 nations that are looking big and powerful. And again, we don't necessarily have a definition of how we're going to choose the victor here. I'm playing with a lot of different formulas in my head. I want to do something fun. I don't think I want to do something similar to what we did in the naval campaign, where we just gave 1 point for 1 point for regular cities, 2 points for capitals. Don't think I'm going to do that this time. I think I might do something completely different. I'd like to give points for colonies. Whoever gets the most colonization out there. I'd like to give, I guess, obviously I have to give points for capitals. I just don't know what the formula will be. Cities, I think, is going to be the big one. But I don't want to do just a traditional Info Addicts victory. It's going to be really, really, really tough if we have to choose between, if nothing else like definable happens, because right now there's so many civs that are so similar, and I guess we're really going to be able to to kind of look into how powerful each civs are underneath the surface when we get to check the info addicts. But for now, on the surface of things, it looks very, very similar. Russia might be able to take over Afghanistan here. They've got their Cossacks. They've got cannon units, but they've got to obviously get those up a little bit closer, which they did. Wow. All right, so yeah, Russia might be taking over Afghanistan. I believe the Huns are still at war with Afghanistan too, right? So even more power. At some point, Russia needs to take over Mumbai. Whoever takes over Mumbai, that will be a big, big deal. It could be Genghis. It could be Catherine. Poland still trying to take back this first Mongolian city. It's been a struggle. It's been a siege back and forth so far. But Mongolia and Poland, for one thing, are preoccupied with each other. I don't think they'll declare war on anybody else, but never mind. I've seen the AI do some really wonky things. Ultimately, my main, I guess, for me picking my top five civs that I think could possibly win this campaign, I think the only thing that really matters is my number one. I have Korea at number one winning, just because of their unique ability, and this navy is so unbelievably powerful. I could easily see all of Japan fall. I wouldn't be surprised. Boom, Poland took over again, this Mongolian city. I could see all of Japan fall if Japan does not get their stuff together. And they really, really need to get their stuff together. There it goes. Bam, India. I don't know if they settled last video or this video. I apologize if I missed it last video. But they did settle northern Mexico. Excuse me there. Northern Mexico. And there we go. They've landed in the New World first. I love it. Now, who else are we going to see? Do we see any more settlers? Ethiopia still going after the Boer. They're still going after it. But I don't think they're going to go as heavy as they were. The Greek regiments are being scattered and destroyed one by one by the Congo. The Congo are going to survive. Once again, an unbelievable defensive situation for the Congo. And again, they've survived. Got to give them props. Excuse me. Ethiopia has pieced out with Oh my goodness. Finally, the Iberian War that we've been waiting for this entire campaign has broken out. Now, will France join in? Now, that will not be fair. If France joins in, that is not fair. They might. It looks like Assyria and Portugal declared war on Isabella separately, individually. So I don't think it's... So it is definitely possible that the AIs see some sort of weakness that Isabella has, and we could see Napoleon join in and try to exploit that with Portugal. It'd be a smart choice for France's part, but entertainment-wise, I want to see just 1v1 here, to be honest. Genghis is still playing against Theodora. No big surprise there. Let's see if France declares war right now. All right, they did not, so it's still possible that they declare war within the next several turns, but at least we'll see, I'm thinking, a few turns between just the Iberians. This will be fun. Now, the thing is, one big advantage that Portugal has is her frigates. She has frigates. She has ranged units that she'll be able to attack Spanish ships. Spanish units. Spain has nothing. Spain has no navy whatsoever because Madrid obviously is in the middle of Iberia. Oh, man. Now, what does the AI do here? You're completely surrounded by the Portuguese. And the AI is probably going to make one of the biggest mistakes, the most common and the most devastating mistake an AI can do. They separate their regiments, they go after multiple cities at once, and they just all get destroyed. I think we might see just one of the most effective and bloodiest, one-sided wars we've ever seen. Spain had a lot of troops. Let's see what they do here. If they split them up, if some troops are going for Orleans, some for Porto, some for Braga, some for Lisbon, oh my gosh, this is going to be so bad. And bam, Mongolia captured it back. It is a back and forth up there. Okay, so Spain might be just going for Lisbon. Maybe not that bad, but Braga is going to destroy this crossbowman, as well as you've got Porto. Wow. Look at these troops. So this might be the final puzzle piece that Maria absolutely needs to start to dominate Europe. And she needs to do this because Rome has been gaining power in the heart of Europe, as well as with Rome colonizing Norway and Scotland here. This is much needed. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if England tries something here to take back their British Isles. Is there any other settlers we see? Yep, Mongolia is going for the colonization. And that is a big thing. I think even though I discussed in the very beginning of this campaign that Mongolia looks weak and they look like they could fall because they are surrounded by so many powerful civs, they're looking like they're the only ones to colonize. I mean, Korea and Mongolia are going to be the big civs to colonize. Poland will have a tough time, even though I talked about why I thought Poland would have a good chance of winning because of their colonization. All they really need is open borders through Sweden, and they'll be good for quite a long time. And I believe we saw Polish scouts within the region. Okay, anything else that popped up? No. Yeah, no, nothing has popped up. Okay, let's continue to focus in on Iberia for now. Rome with another settler. And they will be settling this small pocket just north of the Sahara Desert. Maybe not, maybe right there in the Sahara Desert. Only increasing their role. We've got Songhai going for a city. I think that will be going for the New World. Possibly. Portugal really, really kind of awakening from this. The superpowers finally awakening. Spain is down to only a handful of troops now, but they're down to their most powerful. They've got their terracios. If they're going to survive, this is their chance to survive. They've got their unique units out. They technically have their horses, the conquistadors, I believe. Is it still that time? Maybe. It's about that time period, right? I think we might just have reached a part in the timeline where the conquistadors might be not as powerful. Maybe. That's probably not right. Maybe they don't have access to horses, or their horses have been pillaged or something. Yeah, that's more than likely it. The Zulu are exploring. We might still see a big colonization, lots of colonization from the Zulu, and now we actually have the Portuguese mobilizing their navy. Their navy's all over the place. When I've been noticing that. I just hadn't made a comment about that earlier. Indonesia rebuilding their navy as well. The Champa are finally starting to attack the Mongolians just south of Delhi. Russia kind of retreated for a second. It's going to be very, very hard to take Afghanistan. There's all these hills. That will be tough to navigate. Extremely tough to navigate. No one going after the Huns yet. It'll only be the Russians or the Ottomans that can take them over. And even the Ottomans at this point aren't super powerful. Wouldn't be surprised if we see that region actually fall to somebody. A powerful nation. Syria is really rebuilt. They've done a good job. I know they're behind in technology, but still. They're still doing okay. Babylon will fall at some point, but it probably won't be to Persia. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, excuse me. Luckily for Babylon, Persia has no coastal cities. So that means that they can't get up ships. Acadia would fall instantly, I think. If Persia just had, a few ships and then they had some support, the desert would be easy. Maybe Arabia could take it over, but Arabia is being really weird. They have not built much of a military at all, and they're super under threat. Oh my goodness. I didn't realize that Rome pieced out for this Arabian city just in North Africa. Wow. So another city for Rome. I'm telling you, Rome, Portugal, and Ethiopia might be the sleepers. Maybe I should have put them higher on my list, because these civs here, they don't have another competing great power nearby. Whereas Poland, Russia, Korea, and Genghis Khan, they all do. I should say Mongolia in that situation. They all do. They all have great powers, and they're all going to kind of keep themselves in check. Portugal and Rome are going to near each other at some point, but maybe Ethiopia has an opportunity of going, big, I guess. The problem for Ethiopia is they are still probably the most behind. They are in my top 5. They're the 5th place. They're only at 6 cities, which compared to some of these other civs is not too much. Rome now is at what? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we might see another one. There's a settler at. Portugal's only at 5, but they have an opportunity of just going off going crazy in the Caribbean. They could go crazy in the Caribbean. Okay, so as I thought, Spain is somewhat being dominated, not completely. The problem with Spain and the Spanish AI right now is that most of their cities most of their units are north of Madrid. That's bad, because then they can utilize these frigates, the ship of the line, all the range boats can do damage against their terracios. Very big mistake for the Spanish AI to move units to the north of Iberia. Okay, what's going to happen here? Portugal has so many freaking units. Oh my gosh. They haven't begun to strike Madrid just yet, though. They've not begun to strike. And if Portugal better be very careful with this war, because if they lose too many units, I'm willing to bet that Napoleon will for sure go after them. They will try to take back Orleans. I haven't talked about, France's opportunity to colonize, but they could certainly be pretty effective in their colonization too. Bam! India's adopted Judaism. Here goes Mongolia. Where did that second settler go? Did he just get lost? Did he get taken over? I don't know. I probably am missing. Oh, there he is right there. Bam, bam. All right, so Mongolia is going to start off fast in the New World with 2 cities. How are the Champa doing? They're looking really good to take this, I think. Maybe not. They need some reinforcements. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to go next turn there. Congo and Greece have pieced out. We've got Rome and Arabia. Rome is going to, again, try their luck at going after Arabia. Arabia doesn't have much of a military, so I think they'll be safe, this new Roman city. The Congo aren't going to do much against Arabia because they just got themselves out of a huge war. The Boer let Arabia go into peace deal. We still have a big back and forth. Boer are trying their best to defend themselves, but they are having a tough time doing so. And Portugal is just patrolling the seas in just an amazing fashion. I see Portuguese ships all over the place. Here goes Songhai. But why are they moving up north? Maybe they're going for North America, kind of eastern North America. Anything else from Rome? Did Rome settle in Africa just yet? They did not. Where did he go? There's a Roman worker. I don't know. Any more wars? No more wars so far. Yeah, no more wars just yet. What else do we have? Let's check on Iberia. There goes Iberia. Okay, so Spain is down to about four units. I really thought that Spain was going to do better than that. I had no idea that Spain was just going to scatter their troops. If I was Spain, I would have just kept my troops right there. Don't move them at all. Stay defensive. It would have been really, really hard for the Portuguese to poke through to attack Madrid. Unfortunately, they scattered them out, and then Portugal did the right thing. They just took them out one by one, which was obviously extremely effective. So Madrid will fall, but not by Portugal's going to lose units, but they're only going to lose land units. So the Portuguese Navy is still going to be really, really powerful. Very, very powerful. And now we're starting to see these civs from Western Europe who haven't done much, France and England. They have opportunities here. They definitely have opportunities to try something. They certainly do. As well as if we revisit an AI-only world in the future, I know it's kind of early to be talking about the next AI-only battle, but I'm going to need to eliminate civs. I want to put more mods in than ever before. I will have to eliminate civs, obviously. So because Sweden and Portugal had success against their counterparts, that's Denmark and Spain, respectively, then that's what we'll do. We'll probably eliminate Spain, just have Portugal and Iberia, and Sweden in Scandinavia. But still, that's really, really early. That's not set in stone. That's what I'm thinking, because I need to obviously eliminate civs to make room, especially in Europe, for more civs in the New World, stuff like that. But anyways, guys, I'm going to stop right there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.